supporting you in your dog parenting journey. The Dynamic Dog Owner with Debbie Potter. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Dynamic Dog Owner. I hope you are all having a wonderful week. Before we get started, don't forget you can get in contact with us in many, many different ways. We can help you virtually and in person to improve the life between you and your dog. If you do want to get in touch, book a discovery call with us. There's a link in the show notes, and it would be great to speak to you to see how we can help you. So this week, we're going to be looking at why my dogs aren't perfect. And I hold my hands up, my dogs are not perfect. It's really common that people expect dog trainers' dogs to be the perfect dog and have no problems, nothing that they need to work on. People seem to put us in some, put us on a pedestal and put us on some higher power that just because we're a trainer, our dogs are going to be perfectly well behaved, have no problems, have no issues. We don't have any struggles ourselves around our own emotions around dog training. And somehow we magically just get everything right. I am here to tell you today that is absolutely not true. My dogs are not perfect. Majority of trainers' dogs aren't perfect. Yes, some of them will definitely have a perfect dog, but majority don't. And obviously this comes up with many, many different topics, but one of my questions is why? Why does it matter that my dogs aren't perfect? And what is perfect anyway? Who says what the perfect dog is? We all have kind of like a rough expectation that the perfect dog would not pull on the lead, would recall, would not get distracted by other dogs off lead, would be perfect in the house, wouldn't resource guard, basically just goes everywhere, does everything and just fits into your life absolutely perfectly and I've just stepped a foot out of line. Firstly, that's quite unrealistic. But also it sounds pretty damn boring to me. If you've got nothing to work on, then what do you spend your time doing with your dog? You have to not have a perfect dog to be able to learn and grow. And I think a lot of dog trainers seem to attract dogs that are a little bit more challenging potentially, which we'll explore in a second. But I think one of the things that is really important is that for me, I accept my dogs for who they are. I don't want them to be perfect and I don't want to make them perfect. I allow my dogs to be who they are and I accept them for who they are. And I don't want to necessarily change them or make them fit into the society's ideal of a perfect dog because I don't want to change them. I don't want to change them for who they are. Some of my dogs, I think I just have to recognise for the individual they are. And that's why I don't care that my dogs aren't perfect. It really doesn't bother me because if they were, they probably wouldn't have much of a personality. And for me, spending life with a dog is not about the dog being under control and well behaved and subservient almost to me. It's about them being who they are and me adapting my ways and us learning to have our own sort of equilibrium between the two of us, and obviously my family as well. But I don't try and change my dogs to make them fit into the perfect model. And that's fine. Partly, I think also, as we've touched on previous episodes, that, what is perfect? And think about your trainer or any trainer and where are they on their journey? So have they got a puppy? Have they got an adult dog? Have they got an adolescent dog? Most dog trainers, dogs aren't perfect because they recognise they are on a journey. And we can't expect a 4-month-old puppy to be perfect. We can't expect an 18-month-old dog to be perfect. We have to wait for adult maturity to set in. And even then, they're not going to be perfect, but a lot of the problems will have been ironed out. So my dogs aren't perfect because none of them have reached the point of their journey yet where they are fully adult mature, I don't think. Obviously, Dave, my eldest dog, is adult mature, but he has his own little quirks. And part of it's his personality. It's not something I actually want to change. And that's okay. You don't have to want to have a perfect dog. Who says that was what's one person's idea is completely different to another's? Everyone is different. Some trainers naturally seem to attract challenging dogs. I don't know if you've come across this. I know for a fact my dogs have all picked me. Obviously, I've had the 3 of them now from puppies. Each one of them, I didn't go and pick a puppy. The puppy chose me. Dave, it was a choice between 2 of them, and the one that naturally spent more time with me, he's the one. He's the one that gravitates towards me. The other one's not bothered. With Rem, he curled up next to me in a ball and didn't leave my side. That was kind of precedent for the next however many years, but he chose me. And again, Fred, there was something that he kind of just did that went, I'm yours. And for me, great, they picked me. And therefore, I will work with you. I think they knew that I was the person for them. And I think maybe it's like we can get a little bit spiritual, but maybe they just know that this person is the right person that can help them. And equally, obviously, some dogs some trainers rescue dogs. We're not, I think dog trainers generally are not afraid to take on a challenging case because we have the knowledge and the skills to help that dog more so than, say, a first-time owner. So naturally, dog trainers will pick a more challenging dog given the option in a rescue because they know that they can help them. And equally, again, I think this partly comes from the fact that trainers do pick a more challenging dog, or is it because they don't let the expectations kind of take over and accept their dogs for who they are? My dogs, I could absolutely make them perfect. And I could do that in sort of, think of, I don't know, pick one of them, whichever one you want to pick, but pick one of them and say, right, I could make you perfect. I could make you walk to heel by having a shorter lead or by using a slip collar. I could make you always behave. I could create that situation where you have to fit in. I could easily do that. But as an individual, I recognise that my dogs need to be who they are. So therefore, I don't fit them into that mould. I don't want to fit them into the mould of a perfect dog. I want them to be who they are. So is that why dog trainers, don't have perfect dogs? Is it because we attract the ones that they need us? Is it because we pick the ones in rescues who naturally are more challenging? Or is it because we let them be their individual self and let them display natural dog behaviours more so because we're not under pressure to make them fit in with society? I mean, obviously talking about my 3, all 3 of them are not perfect. Each one has their quirks. Obviously, you've heard about them before, but like Dave is a frustrated greeter. Dave doesn't like me touching his feet. He doesn't like his back end being brushed. Those are like 3 things that he's not great at. Rem is obviously very highly strung. He has a lot of emotions. He lays down at dogs when they are very, very close by to him. He gets very hyper after a walk. Fred's a little bit lead aversive. He doesn't like his lead. He's very scared. He doesn't like leads touching him. So that's something, I could work on. He's a little bit wary of the world and he does bark at things that he's not sure about. In general, they're pretty damn good dogs. And I don't have any big issues that concern me with any of them. Obviously, they've got their issues and there are things I need to fine tune. And that's okay. It's okay to have things you want to fine tune. They're not bad dogs, but in somebody else's eyes, they would be seen as being bad dogs because they're not perfect. Now, I don't know about you guys, but obviously I see it from my perspective. Other people listening may see it from their own perspective. What do you think of when you see a trainer with a perfect dog? Do you look at them and go, wow, I want my dog to be like that? Do you look at them and go, how have they done it? Or do you, which a lot of people do, go, their dog is so perfect, I can't possibly talk to them about my issues because they'll look down on me. They'll think that I am inadequate. Because that happens more than you would imagine. Because my dogs aren't perfect, I have lived and I continue to live through normal dog challenges. So reactivity, separation anxiety, resource guarding. I've lived through them all, integrating children into a dog house, integrating puppies in, multi-dog households, loosely walking, recall, reactivity, all of those things are things that I live with my dogs. Some of the challenges I've overcome, some of them I'm still working through with my dogs. But all of those things that I have done with my dogs and I have grown through with my dogs are the challenges that you are facing, that every dog owner in the world is facing. And if I hadn't lived those challenges with my non-perfect dogs, I wouldn't have the practical knowledge and the practical application of the theory of dog training. And therefore, I wouldn't have an understanding, and I wouldn't be able to help the clients that I work with because I wouldn't have first-hand experience. So not having the perfect dog actually makes me a better trainer. And it makes, I find, us much more approachable. Many people think we're going to tell them off, or think that our dogs won't have the problem that you are having. And again, it puts us back up on that pedestal going, I can't possibly ask my dog trainer X, Y, or Z because I don't feel that they'll relate, or I don't feel that they'll understand, or they'll think that I'm a bit silly, or my dog's, not perfect. The more problems that I have as a dog trainer, the more I can help you. So I don't actually want the perfect dog, and I'm quite okay with that. Yes, other people do want the perfect dog, and that's cool. That's everyone's got their prerogative, and everyone's got their own point of view, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously, this is my podcast, so I can give you my point of view because it's my space, it's my platform for me to share my views. And as I always say in classes, etc., if there are other opinions, I'll always try and share them. I'll give you mine, but I'll give you an unbiased opinion on other things as well. But expecting dog trainers' dogs to be perfect, it's not fair on the trainer. I mean, I've had it in situations before where I've taken my dog somewhere and they've gone, oh, well, I didn't expect your dog to behave like this because you're a dog trainer. And you go, right, okay, so because I'm a dog trainer, my dog shouldn't have emotions? Okay, that's a bit weird. Because I'm a dog trainer, my dog shouldn't struggle in a new situation. How unfair is that? What pressure are you putting on my dog to suddenly behave in a certain way just because I train other dogs? Just because my dogs aren't perfect, it doesn't mean that I'm not good at my job. In fact, I think it makes me better at my job. Now, obviously, that doesn't equate to everything because, my dogs aren't good at agility. We've never done it. I can't be an amazing agility instructor if I've never done it. So, that kind of look at it from two different coins. I'm on about general life with a dog here. So general living, pet dogs, living in a home, doing normal dog things, not competitive things. I completely agree. If you want, if you want to compete in agility, you need to be trained by somebody who has competed in agility because they understand what you're aiming for. And that is no different to what I'm saying about living, having a dog trainer whose dog's not perfect. They have lived what you're experiencing as a general dog owner. It's almost thinking like, you've probably all heard the saying, that about builders. There's like an ongoing thing that, builders do loads of work elsewhere in other people's houses, and their own house, they've got half-finished projects all over the place. So it feels a bit like that as a dog trainer, I must say, because we do spend a lot of time, obviously, running a dog training business, supporting other people and helping other people. But by the time you get round to your own dog, you're like, I haven't got much energy now. And you don't always want to do more. But that's where in a way, we've got the knowledge that we can do shorter sessions, we can fit them in. We don't get to do it as much, but what we do is good quality. But it's also a little bit like expecting a child to be Einstein because their mum's a teacher. And we wouldn't expect that. If you've got somebody who is a teacher, you wouldn't expect their child to be the top of the class just because they teach children, because that is so not realistic and it's not going to happen. So if we can expect, just because someone's a teacher, their child's not perfect. If we expect, just because a famous artist has a child, well, their child must be an artist too and be brilliant at it. We wouldn't expect that from people. So why do we expect a dog trainer's dog to be perfect? Just think about it. So the main sort of purpose of today's episode is to understand that it's fine if you're looking at working with a dog trainer and their dog isn't perfect. It's okay. If they are perfect, I'd always ask, well, why? How have you managed to get the perfect dog that never steps a foot out of line? If they're only a year old, etc., just go, well, how have they done that then? Yes, it may mean they're great. It may mean other things. Just investigate it. But if you're looking on social media or, seeing videos of people and you go, oh, well, how can they be a very good dog trainer because their dog is pulling on the lead or their dog is doing this? They are the people that are walking your walk. They are living your journey. And that trainer is going to be able to help you because they have put into practice the exact things that they are struggling with. And I think for me, that's why loose lead walking is one of my favourite topics, because it's something I've had to work so hard with Dave. He has pulled on the lead always till he was about 6. So the last year, it's kind of been, yes, we've got there. But for a year, 6 years, all we did was loose lead walking. And I love teaching loose lead walking because I have done it. I have lived it. I will give you the advice that worked for me. And the stuff I'm asking you to do, I have done it all and I have done it for years and it's got us there. Same as scent detection. Rem and I love doing scent detection together. He's pretty good at it. I have worked up and I have trained him how to do it. Therefore, I love teaching scent detection because I have done the journey. I've walked the walk with him. We're by nowhere near perfect at it, but he continues to get better and better and better. We've been doing it for 4.5 years. He started doing scent detection when he was 5 months old, and he's coming up for 5. So 4.5 years we've been doing it together, and we have problem solved. We have gone through all of the things. We have tweaked ways we're doing things. We've looked at new methods. We've tried different things, and therefore I enjoy teaching it because I have broken it down with my own dog and I have those skills. So just look at what you're looking for. If you're looking for general dog training skills, great. If you're looking for a trainer to help you with reactivity, have they worked through reactivity? If you're looking for a scent detection instructor, have they actually done it with their own dog? If you want to compete in agility, go to the best agility person there is because they'll be able to help you the most. But don't judge a dog trainer on whether their dog is perfect or not, because majority aren't, because what is perfect? And as I said at the beginning, I hold my hands up. My dogs are not perfect, and that is absolutely fine. I am really pleased that they're not perfect because perfect is pretty damn boring to me. I like a challenge. So do, obviously, as always, comment, share this podcast episode, leave us a review. If there's somebody who you think would benefit from listening, not just to this episode, but the entire podcast, please do share an episode with them, because the more people that get to listen, the more people we can help. And that's what it's all about. Have a great week, and I'll catch up with you really soon. Thank you for listening to The Dynamic Dog Owner with me, Debbie Potter. See you next time.